Hi everyone. Welcome back to the channels. Let's start with a new Eon topic which is citizens and its spinning wheels. It is for Indian to be truly free. Gandhi argued that they must take up a traditional crafts. What it is quixotic, hope or inspire solutions. The meaning of quixotic here is having or showing ideas that are different and unusual but not practical or likely to succeed. Let's see who is written this eon. Benjamin Studebaker is an American political theorist with a PhD from University of Cambridge, UK. He is the author of The Chronic Crisis of American Democracy, The Way It Shut, which is written in the year 2023, and The Legitimacy in Liberal Democracies, which is forthcoming November 2024. Let's start with the first basis. The political theorists often argue that the citizens need to have certain capabilities for their political project to be successful. Ancient and medieval political theorists like Plato and Aquinas often demand that the people receive advanced spiritual and civic education as a prerequisite for participating in rule. This training is intricate, it takes time, and it can be expensive. Pre-industrial economic systems do not generate a very big surplus. In highly stratified ancient republics, citizenship was often served for the rich and powerful. In this passage, author is talking about what the prerequisites needed for a citizen to be a political successful. What author says that political theories often argue that the citizens need to have a certain capabilities for their political project to be successful. And what those capabilities are, the ancient and medieval political theories like Plato and Aquinas often demand that people receive advanced spiritual and civic education as a prerequisite for participating in the rule. According to Plato and Aquinas, it is demanded for the people that they receive advanced spiritual and civic education. This training is intricate, it takes time, and it can be expensive. Pre-industrial economic system do not generate a very big surplus from it, but in highly stratified ancient republics, citizens are often served for the rich and powerful. What title should given to this thesis is the prerequisite for a successful citizen. And what the important point we can take from here, receive advanced spiritual and civic education as a prerequisite for participating in the rule. Training is intricate, expensive, highly certified. Ancient republic citizens are often served for the rich and powerful. Moving toward the next space is modern liberals like Adam Smith or Benjamin Constant tends to take a different approach. They argue that most people already have the qualities that are necessary for citizenship. If they don't have them, they can gain them by participating in the market and civil society organization. Without need for careful planning, it helps that modern liberal envisions a more limited role for their citizens. They need enough civic education to be able to vote for representatives, but they are not expected to make important everyday political decisions. According to the viewpoint of Adam Smith or Benjamin Constance, which have a different approach, they argue that the most people already have the qualities that are necessary for a citizenship. They don't need any kind of advanced education, they already have those qualities. But in case if they don't have, they can gain them by participating in the markets and the civil society organization without need to be careful planning. Without even planning, the participation is must required. It helps that modern liberals envision a more limited role for their citizens. They need enough civil education to be able to vote for the representative, but they are not expected to make important everyday political decisions. So it says that modern liberal envisions, in a modern liberal envisions, there is a limited role of the citizens, but they need to be an enough civic education so that they can vote a right representative. But it is not expected from the citizens to take part in everyday political decisions. So, what the title should given to this particular passage is a different approach by Adam Smith or Benjamin Constant. And what we can take from here is that the most people already have the qualities that are necessary for the citizenship, or they can gain them by participating in the market and civil society organizations. Modern liberals envision a more limited role for their citizens. They need enough civic education to be able to vote for the representative. The citizens are not expected to make important everyday political decisions. So let's moving toward the next pieces. Gandhi was a different sort of thinker. He wants ordinary people to make difficult moral and political judgment themselves. Instead of lowering the bar for citizenship or excluding the poor and the weak from citizenship, Gandhi argued that it is possible to dramatically improve the capability of ordinary people. So here comes Mahatma Gandhi in the picture. He says that his approach is completely different. His belief is he wanted an ordinary people. He wanted ordinary people to make a difficult moral and political judgment themselves. Instead of lowering the bar for citizenship or excluding the poor and the weak from the citizenship, Gandhi argued that it is possible to dramatically improve the capability of ordinary people. Mahatma Gandhi believes that instead of creating any bar to be a good citizen or to be a citizens, we can more focus on improving the capability of the ordinary people. Here comes Mahatma Gandhi, and let's moving toward the continuation of that. This is to do this. He called for the reconstruction of Varna system, in which young people adopt profession for their parents. In its original form, the system consists of four Varnas. There are the Brahmins who serve as scholars, priests or teachers. There are Kshatriyas who serve as rulers, administrators or warriors. There are Vaishyas who serve as farmers or merchants. Finally, there are Sudras who serve as artisans, laborers or servants. The member of all four Varnas are householders in the sense that it is permissible for people occupying any of the four Varnas to produce children. One Varnas is determined by the one parent's Varna. So, here we can just divide the whole passage in two different concepts. The first, this upper one is what is the thinking of Mahatma Gandhi for citizens? So, what we can take from here is that he wanted ordinary people to make a difficult or moral political judgment themselves. it is possible to dramatically improve the capability of the ordinary people. And here comes the part 2, where the Mahatma Gandhi is talking about the Varna system. In Varna system, young people adopt the profession of their parents. In its original form, the system consists of four Varnas. There are the Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the Sudras. Here Mahatma Gandhi is saying that young people should adopt the profession of their parents, which is divided into four Varnas, which is Brahmin, who serves as scholars, priests and teachers, Kshatris, who serve as the ruler, administrator of the warrior, and Vaishyas, who serves as a farmers, merchants, and the last one is Sudras, who serve as artisans, laborers, and the servants. And then he says that in the sense that it is a permissible for the people to occupy any of the four varnas to produce children, and one varna is determined by the parents' varnas. So it's on a people itself which varnas they belongs to. But according to him, their children should also follow the same varna. So the important point we can take from this part is, firstly, the reconstruction of the Varna system, since that it is permissible for the people occupying any of the four Varnas to produce children. And one's Varnas is determined by one's parents' Varnas. So let's come to the next pieces. The Varnas are often ranked so that the Brahmin enjoy the highest status, followed by the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Sudras. But the Gandhi rejects ranking the Varnas in this way. For him, the Varna system becomes a caste system when the Varnas become hierarchical status marker. In his view, all four Varnas are meant to be equal. People in all four Varnas are meant to be able to engage in spiritual development, not just the Brahmins. So, Mahatma Gandhi believes that the earlier the Varnas are ranked. Firstly, the rank one is the Brahmins, and the followed by the Kshatris, Vaishyas, and Sudras. But Mahatma Gandhi completely denies this concept and or not oppose this concept and says that now it's because of that Varna system, it's become a caste system. But it shouldn't be done that way. All the four Varnas are meant to be equal, and people in all four Varnas are meant to be able to engage in spiritual development, not just the Brahmin ones. So the title should given to this passage is Mahatma Gandhi opposed the concept of ranking in the four Varnas. And what the important line we can take from here is that the Varna system become a caste system when the Varnas become hierarchical status markers. All four Varnas means to be equal, and people in all four Varnas mean to be able to engage in spiritual development, not just the Brahmins. So let's moving toward the last pieces of today's video. There are some Indians outside the Varna system. The Dalits or the untouchables are considered to be without a Varna. For Gandhi, the category of Dalit is itself an offense against the Varna system, insofar as it is a category that presupposes a hierarchical ranking that excludes some people from spiritual realization. There are also some Indians who are not householders, but have instead committed themselves to aesthetic lifestyle. After some number of lifetimes at the householder level, a Hindu practitioner is said to be advanced into a new ashram or stage of life. While Brahmins serves as a spiritual teacher, they remain householders. So have not yet transitioned to aestheticism. A person who wishes to become an aesthetic must not have any dependent. This does not necessarily mean that the aesthetic can never have had a spouse or children, provided that when the aesthetic embraces aestheticism, appropriate provisions have been made. Once aestheticism is embarrassed, commitment to celibacy and childlessness necessarily follow, lest any new dependent be acquired. Taken together, the whole Varna system is called Varna Shrama, referring together both the four kinds of householders and the four stages of life. So this passage is very important. This passage is talking about the people outside the Varna system. Firstly, the Dalits. Those are untouchable, are considered to be without a Varna, but for the Gandhi, the category of Dalit itself an offense against the Varna system. Insofar, it is a category that presupposed a hierarchical ranking and excludes some people from spiritual realizations. So, according to Mahatma Gandhi, the Dalits are the one who completely offend against the Varna system. They have their own rules and regulations. They can't consider and they don't consider themselves in that particular part of the system. But there are also some Indians who are not householder but have instead committed themselves to aesthetic lifestyle. So there are some part of the Indians who are not householders, but they committed themselves an aesthetic lifestyles. And what is that? Let's see. After some number of lifetimes at the householders level, a Hindu practitioner is said to be advanced into a new ashrama stage of life. He says a Hindu practitioner in advanced level make their life in a new ashrama stage of life. While the Brahmins serve as spiritual teacher, they remain household and so have not yet transitioned to aestheticism. We consider a Brahmin as a spiritual, in a spiritual path, but apart, still from being a spiritual teacher, they still a householder, but they are not an aestheticism. A person who wishes to become an aesthetic must not have any dependent. They don't need to depend on anyone that we need to look over this one because it's my responsibility to look over my parents, my children's. But the person who become aesthetic, they don't depend on anyone. This does not necessarily means that the aesthetic can never have a spouse or children, provided when the aesthetic embraces aestheticism, appropriate provision has been made. So this sentence says that it is not necessarily needed that we don't have the aestheticism don't have children's or spouse, but they embrace aestheticism in a very appropriate manner. Once aestheticism is embraced, commitment to celibacy and the childlessness necessarily follow, lest any new dependent be acquired. So in aestheticism, to embrace aestheticism, the commitment to celibacy and childlessness necessarily follow, and they need to for any new dependent to be acquired. So they don't need to. They are the people should dependent on them, but they are not like attached or dependent on that particular person or anything. Taken together, the whole Varna system is called Varnashram, referring together the both four kinds of Varnas, householder, and four stages of life. So, what a suitable title should give it to this particular passage is people outside of Varna system. So, what we can take from here is that Firstly, the Dalits. Without Varna system, Dalits is itself an offense against the Varna system insofar it is a category that presupposes a hierarchical ranking and excludes some people from spiritual realization. The aesthetic one, the must not dependent on any. Embarrass aestheticism, appropriate provisions has been made. Aestheticism is embarrassed commitment to celibacy and childlessness necessarily follow lest any new dependent to be acquired. The whole Varna system called Varnashram referring together the both four kind of householders and the four stages of life. So that's all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy this ones. See you tomorrow with another part of this topic. As of now, have a great day.